In the last video, we talked about how to calculate standard deviation by hand, and in this video, we're going to talk about how we can speed that process up using the graphing calculator. So just like we did with scatter plots, the very first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to enter my data into my graphing calculator. So remember how we do that is we're going to press this stat button right here and choose this very first option, number 1, edit. Now again, you might have some data entered in here. I always like to start with that fresh slate, so I'm going to clear it out. So I'm going to highlight L1, press clear, and then enter. And then look, just to be safe, we'll do the same thing for L2. I like to have a blank slate to start with. So I'm going to start by entering my data set into L1. So our data set, we're going to work with the same one that we did in the last video, which was 3, 5, 6, 7, 7, and 10. So we've got our data set entered in here. When we're working with standard deviation, we've only got one data set, so we should only have numbers for L1. So once you've got your data set entered in here, I'm going to quit out of here. I always like to go back to the home screen first. So I'll press second and then mode. That'll take me back to my home screen. And now at this point, I'm ready to go find my standard deviation. So we'll press stat one more time, and we're going to arrow over to the right one spot so that we're in this calc menu. And we're going to choose this very first option right here, 1var stats. It stands for one variable statistics. And we're going to go ahead and choose that. Now, we entered our data in for L1, so we want to make sure that this list says L1. If for whatever reason it says something else, to get L1, you would press second and then the number 1 to pop up. Frequency list you can leave blank, and then we should just be able to go down to calculate. If you have a slightly older calculator model, it'll probably just say 1var stats and it'll be waiting for you to press enter. Just go ahead and press enter and you should see the same thing that we're going to see on our next screen. So we're going to go to calculate, press enter, and it gives you all of this different information. So it actually gives you quite a bit here. It gives you like the mean right here is X bar and some other stuff down here. We are interested in these two numbers. S, remember, is our sample standard deviation, and sigma right here represents our population standard deviation. They are calculated slightly differently. 98% of the process is the same. There's one small step that changes, but depending on whether we're working with a sample or a population, that will change what our standard deviation is. Now, I would guess probably in the vast majority of cases that we see, we're going to be interested in sample standard deviation. So we're going to be interested in that S. So our sample standard deviation is 2.338, rounds up to 2.34, just like we had in the last video. So you can see that this makes this process a whole heck of a lot faster. In general, if I ask you to find standard deviation, I will almost never ask you to find it by hand. You can always go ahead and use a graphing calculator to do that.